If I find gender stereotypes and biases against women, you best believe I'm going to call it out. If I find gender biases and stereotypes against men, I am going to stand and call it out. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Marina here, and I am so glad to have you back. If it's your first time here, you're welcome. My name is Marina. I make videos from Saskatoon, Canada, where I share about life issues and my experiences as a Nigerian immigrant in Canada. Please do well to hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so that you know every time I upload a new video. In today's video, guys, I'm going to be addressing something that has bothered me for quite a while. I have tried to ask about this on social media previously. I got quite a few responses, and recent happenings still give me cause to worry. So I'm bringing this to you guys today, and I am just going to rant about it. What I'm going to be talking about today is this notion that the future is female. Now, this is a very popular notion that I've seen on social media. It's now on t-shirts, and it's something that has become quite popular. I'm very sure some of you would have heard this already. Please leave me a comment below and let me know if you have heard this saying before, the future is female, and what your impression, what the first thing that comes to your mind is when you hear that. I'm excited that there's a lot of empowerment going on for women these days. I'm very excited that there are initiatives everywhere we look. There are initiatives that are going on that are trying to empower the woman, that's trying to empower the girl child, prepare her for the future, so that we have more women who are represented in leadership positions. We have more women who are represented in governments. We have more women who are represented in high positions. That was my initial understanding of what that means when they say the future is female. But guys, think about this. The future is female. The girl child is being empowered. The woman is being empowered. What exactly is happening to the boy child? Last weekend, I think it was the 16th of May, it was International Day of the Boy Child. Yeah. How many of you knew it was International Day of the Boy Child? How many of you know what day International Men's Day is? But when it's International Women's Day, International Day of the Girl Child, or initiatives that surround women, there's a lot of buzz about it. There's a lot of things that happen when it's International Women's Day. Like, a lot of activities are organized, a lot of things are organized to mark those days, and it is everywhere. Why do we not do the same when it's International Men's Day? Mother's Day every year has multiple days. Now, I'm a mom. I enjoy being celebrated multiple days in a year, don't get me wrong. But there's Mother's Day Catholic, there's Mother's Day Anglican, there's Mother's Day Europe, there's Mother's Day North America, there's Mother's Day everywhere. Father's Day, one. We don't have as much buzz about Father's Day as we do when it comes to Mother's Day. Now, before y'all come for me and begin to attack me, I identify as a feminist. Yes, I said it. My name is Marina, and I am a feminist. I identify as one. I believe that the genders should be equal. I believe in the equality of the genders. I do not believe that anybody should be at a disadvantage because of their gender. I would fight against gender biases both ways. If I find gender stereotypes and biases against women, you best believe I'm going to call it out. If I find gender biases and stereotypes against men, I am going to stand and call it out. That's the true meaning of feminism, not the men are scum, women are trash wars that we're constantly fighting on Twitter and fighting about gender roles and who should cook or who should not cook. I feel like those things are distractions. That's not what the true meaning of feminism should be. It should not be a war men versus women. It should be a war men and women against systems that stand in the way of equality. So men can be feminists. I know a number of men who are feminists. So this wars of men versus women, gender wars that are all around us, that's a major distraction from what feminism should actually mean. So I'm standing here today to question this bias that I see. I'm a bit worried because I am a mom who has a son and a daughter. I'm raising my children to treat people with kindness, with love, treat them the same. You are different, but you are equal. Nobody is superior. No gender is superior to the other. I'm not going to give my daughter any undue advantage at the expense of my son. Same way, I'm not going to be giving my son any undue advantage at the expense of my daughter. Now, that's how I am raising my kids. I look at the society around us, and if we do not make sure that we're creating balance between the way we're empowering the girl child and the way the boy child should also be empowered, we're going to be creating the same problem for the next generation, except that this time the problem will be tilted to the other side. It just looks to me now that the fight is no longer for balance, it's no longer for equality, it's no longer for equity, it's no longer for fairness. It almost now seems like the one who has been oppressed now wants to be the oppressor. So what used to be like this, the women were considered down here, the men were up here. Now we're empowering the woman, empowering the girl child. What I assume that we're fighting for is put them at par so that we're on the same level playing field and no gender is at a disadvantage. It just seems like the empowerment that's going on now is seeking to put the woman here. If that happens, either ways, we still have imbalance, regardless of the fact that the imbalance is now tilted in the opposite direction. We are still going to have imbalance, and that in itself is a problem. So I don't understand, when we say the future is female, what is the fate of the boy child? What is the future of the boy child? The man today that we are trashing on the internet, he's scum, he's trash, he's this, he's that. Do we ever stop to think that if patriarchy is really the problem that we are seeking to attack, do you stop to even consider that patriarchy also did a number on our men? The same patriarchy that told me that a woman's education ends in the kitchen, the highest title a woman can have is Mrs. Regardless of who you are always going to be subject to a man, you are inferior to the man. That's what patriarchy told us. That's what we're trying to fight against. But do you stop to consider that that same patriarchy told a man that you do not show weakness, you do not show emotion, the totality of who you are as a man is in your ability to provide. You don't have to know where you're going, just lead. You are the head, whether clueless or not, the woman is supposed to be subject to you. Do you not stop to see that that's what's going on around us? The man fights, wants to be on top, because that's what patriarchy told him as well. So the patriarchy that was unfair to us, in a very, very huge way, was also unfair to our men. If this fight is truly against patriarchy, then we will realize that the fight men against women is just wrong. Because we know that these days, it appears that we have become about the biggest custodians of patriarchy. So then what's the point? What exactly is the point? What exactly are we really, really fighting for? Now, don't get me wrong, I am all for empowerment. I'm very excited when I see these initiatives that empower the woman. It's a very common thing that I see happens. When a woman has been in an abusive relationship, for instance, the goal is always to empower the woman, get her out of that place to a place of safety. But do you notice that nothing is done for the abuser? Doesn't the abuser need help as well? You take that woman from that abusive situation to a place of safety, the abuser is on the loose. Next thing, he gets into another relationship with another woman, the abuse cycle continues. We are trying to treat the symptoms of a problem and ignoring the root of the problem. So if you're taking a woman away from an abusive situation to a place of safety, the abuser should be helped as well. If we're empowering the girl child of today to now become that woman of tomorrow, where she has a higher chance of having seats at the table or even building her own table, of being in leadership positions, we should not be doing that at the expense of the boy child. That boy that we are raising today is looking up to the man that we are trashing on social media. The man who we're calling trash, who we're calling scum today, is the hero of the little boy. He's looking up to that man. That man is his mentor. So can you try to imagine the crop of boys that we're going to be raising if we do not correct the notion today? Something was wrong with the way we were raised, no doubt. Our mothers were oppressed. Now we're empowering ourselves today and empowering our daughters so that they are not oppressed tomorrow. But who's empowering our boys? At the end of the day, if we continue like this, our daughters and our sons will not be able to stand shoulder to shoulder. They will not be at par. That oppression, that imbalance is still going to be there. So unless we are interested in becoming the oppressors, unless the actual fight is revenge, we want to do to them what our mothers suffered. And if we want to be fair, we are going to be punishing a generation of boys who do not have any business. It was not their fault what their grandfathers did. We should not be punishing them for the offense of their grandfathers. Should the future really be female? we really want to be equal, or we want to be the oppressors? Do we really want balance? Do we really want fairness? Do we really want equity, or we just want to be the ones on top? In my opinion, I believe that the empowerment that is going on right now, which is very, very applaudable in my opinion, should protect the rights of both genders. Until we start to give the same kind of consideration, the same kind of training, the same kind of empowerment to the boy child today, we will be creating the same problem in the future. Because that girl child that we're empowering today, she's going to grow up one day to be the alpha woman that we say, yes, that's who you can be. But when she now decides that, okay, I've now reached this stage in my life and I'm interested in starting a family, who is she going to marry? Is it the boy who will not be able to stand side by side with her? If you look around, the boy child is also endangered. The boy child is very soon going to become the endangered species, guys. And I'm worried. That bothers me. It does bother me. We have to start to now stop and decide truly, what do we want? What do we really want for the future? Do we want to see a future that boys and girls will have equal opportunities regardless of their gender? Yes. To achieve that, we're going to have to empower both of them today so that they can be that tomorrow. We're not going to get anywhere by empowering one above the other. We will be creating the same problem. So guys, here's my take on this. Should the future be female? As cute as that sounds, as exciting as it sounds to say, I do not believe that the future should be female. I am looking forward to a future that is fair, a future that is equal, and above everything else, I want a future that is human, that protects the rights of both gender on an equal scale. I want a future that's human. I don't want a future that's imbalanced. I want a future that will protect the rights of my daughter as well as protect the rights of my son. I do not want to empower one child above the other. I do not want a society that empowers one gender above the other. I do not want to raise a son who's already going to be at a disadvantage. That's what our mother suffered. I do not want to create that for my son. So should the future really be female? I don't believe so. So guys, please leave me a comment in the comment section below. I'd like to know what you think about this and what you think we can do differently, just so that we're not creating the same problems that we have suffered in the past. We don't have to punish our sons for the offense of their fathers. We need balance. We cannot be propagating anything that would foster any form of imbalance for the future. The boy child needs to be protected. The boy child needs to be empowered. The boy child needs to be taught as well. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think about this. What does the future as female mean for you, and what do you think we can do differently? Well, thank you very much for watching this video, guys. I hope you learned a thing or two from it. If you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please hit the subscribe button below and turn on the notification so that you know every time I upload a new video. If you enjoyed this video, guys, please give it a thumbs up and share it as much as you want. Thank you very much, and until I come your way in my next video, it's Marina saying thank you and have a good day. Bye bye.